In this problem they have given cube of side 40 and it is resting on the HP plane with its base such that it is placed such that its vertical face is inclined at 30 degree to VP. Okay, and it is cut by a section plane perpendicular to VP inclined to HP at an angle of 45 degree, and it is exactly passing at middle point of the axis. Okay, so first we'll draw an XY line here. Okay, then from that XY line I will take a reference point. Okay, and draw 30 degree angle line with respect to VP. So take a reference point, keep the protractor and mark for angle 30 degree. Okay, mark for angle 30 degree and draw a line passing through that angle point. Okay, so mention angle 30 degree here. Okay, so we need to draw a cube of side 40. So cube of side 40 we have to draw here. So exactly at 40 mm we need to draw here. So 40 you have to mark. Okay, so it is so these edges were exactly vertical. So I'll be keeping the protractor at these reference points and marking at 90 degree. Okay, marking at 90 degree because we need to draw a square. Okay, all the edges were exactly perpendicular. Again I am keeping the protractor at another reference point and marking at 90 degree. Okay, now you draw a line of length. Okay, draw a line of length. Okay, after marking 90 degree, draw a line of length 40 mm passing through this 90 degree point. Okay, so vertical line you have to draw. Just draw a line of length 40 mm. Okay, here also. So you can draw a line of length 40 mm here. Okay, now we can join to complete the sketch. Okay, so you can show the angle. So the angle here we have taken 30 degree, right? So 30 degree we have taken, and you can show the dimension on one side. So the one side dimension will be 40 here. Okay, so we need to find the center of the axis. So draw the lines passing through like diagonals we need to draw to find out the center of the axis. Okay, mention the naming. So cube is also one of the prism, so it is having both top face and bottom face. Top face notations are A, B, C, D. Bottom face notations are A1, B1, D1 within brackets. Okay, so now we have to project it to complete the front view. So draw the projection lines. Okay, so from the axis also we need to draw exactly vertical line. From all the edges we need to draw the projection lines here. Okay, here the axis length also 40 because it is an cube. Okay, it is in cube. Okay, it is also 40 mm. So first we'll draw axis line 40, then remaining edges also we draw it for 40 mm. Okay, okay, that completes the front view. Okay, so we can show the dimension. So dimension here it is 40 mm, 40. Okay, now we have to show an section plane, cut section plane. So it is exactly 45 degree and it is occurring exactly middle point of the axis. So the total axis is 40. So half exactly middle point means we need to mark at 20 on the axis and then show the dimension 20 mm. Okay, so the dimension 20 mm. Okay, then take the protractor, marking at the reference point, mark for an angle 45 degree. Okay, now draw a straight line, that is cut plane, to that marked angle point. Okay, section plane we need to show where it is cutting exactly. Okay, so angle it is 45 degree. Okay, so now the remaining cutted portion we will dark it. Okay, okay, this is what the retained portion after cut by the section plane, so that's why we need to dark this one. Okay, show the axis line here, or the section line which is cutting that, dark that one also. And now we will write the naming here. So 1 exactly cutting, we need to draw vertical line. So on the AB line it is touching it, where it is touching on the AB line. Okay, we need to extend this on the AB line. Okay, AB edge it is touching. Okay, same way. Okay, so we mark for 1 on the top view, same way. So we need to mark for 0.2, so 0.2 here we getting, again we extend it, we write 2, same way we need to write for 3 here, so 3 here cutting on the BC. Okay, so that is the 0.3, and then we have the 0.4 we getting here, and then 0.5 we getting on the D only. Okay, so we write here also D. Okay, so marking of the points, so we have done. So now we have to draw the development of this. So extend the lines. So 40 mm into 4 sides means it is 160 mm total length we have to consider. First I will take a reference edge. Okay, from here exactly 160 mm we need to extend. Okay, the scale we have for 150 mm, so I will be extending by another 10 mm. Okay, so another 10 mm it will be extended. Okay, the same way we do it for the top face also, top edge, extend for total length we need to consider exactly 160. So again I will mark for 150, extend by 10. Okay, now we have to cut the arcs for 40 mm. 4 arcs we have to cut. You can see, so total length 40 we have to consider, 4 arcs, 160 means 4 times you need to cut arc. First arc, second arc, third arc, and fourth one. Okay, now we have to draw the vertical lines where these arcs were cutted. Okay, now we need to mark A, B, C, D, A. Okay, now we have to mark this point 1 here. So 1 it is there exactly at a distance, we need to measure from the top view. You can see there, from A to 1 we need to measure from the compass. A to 1 can measure and cut the arc. This is point 1. Okay, and now you can see that So 2 it is there, so 2 we can measure it from the front view itself. So 1 to 2, so 1 to 2 on exactly on the B. So this is okay. Then point C we need point 3 we need to mention. So from C to 3 we need to measure. Okay, C to 3 you can measure that. So this is point 3. Again we need to measure point number 4. Again I will measure from C to 4. Okay, C to 4 I will measure. C to 4. Okay, point 5 will be there exactly on the D. So I will measure from the top, from the front view, that length, and I'm going to cut dark, that is 0.5. Again 1 we need to measure. So 1 again I will be measuring from again A to here it is measured. Okay, whatever the length it is, mention again 1. Okay, now we need to join using scale with the help of straight line. So we can join it from 1 to 2 straight line, again from 2 to 3. Okay, actually that 3 and 4 point I need to mark on the top line. Okay, top line I am going to mark it. Okay, the point number 3 and 4 I need to mark it at the top end. Okay, so I'll be marking that. So because it is exactly cutting at the top face, it is cutting. So you can see that we need to just draw a vertical line at the point 3. So that is 3, and this is point number 4. So now we'll join it with the straight line. Okay, so then complete that whole diagram, that cutted remaining portion we need to dark it. Okay, we need to dark the vertical edges also, that is retained cutted portion, we need to dark it. Okay, so that's completes the problem. Okay, you can see in this problem there is a cube given of dimension 40 is resting on HP with its base on HP such that one of its vertical face inclined at 30 degree to VP. That means we have to draw 30 degree, then we have to place the square of dimension 40 on it. It is cut by a section plane perpendicular to VP inclined to HP at an angle of 45 degree, and it is passing exactly at the midpoint. You can see if the length it is 40, so we have to take 20. Then midpoint we have to draw 45 degree section plane here, and we need to draw the development of the lower lateral surface of the cube. So first we will be constructing an XY line. So here XY line you can take the thickness, either you can take 0.25 or 0.13, no problem. Then you can mention XY line VP HP because it is in first quadrant. Okay, you can mention that. Write XY and VP HP because this is in first quadrant. So in the development also we are using the first quadrant only. Now you draw an angle line. So here you should draw an angle line for 30 degree. So 30 degree means below the XY line you should give an angle of minus 150. Okay, 150 if you give, the angle you get it here 30 degree. You can measure the angle by using angle between command. Okay, so you will get the angle 30 degree. Now you have to take the square of dimension 40, and then we have to place with respect to that vertical edge. So you can give the width and height same, that is using rectangle by center command, width 40 and height also 40. The angle you can give, that is 45 degree, so that it is easy for us So when we place it on this 30-degree angle point, now we select this and go to move command and select the end point here and then place it on this angle line. Okay, and then go to rotate and then again you select this whole thing, because this entire thing you have to place it. So select the again end point from one end to another end and then place it on the angle line. Okay, now after this, so we can draw the front view of it. So front view also having 40 mm dimension because it is a prism. So we can write the naming for it, A, B, C, D. Only top face notations we can write. Okay, we're not writing all the face here. We can show the dimension here. It is 40 mm. Now we can project the line. From the end points. Okay. Straight projection lines you need to draw. Okay, you can zoom in and check it. Sometimes you are unable to do it. You can zoom in and you can do it. Okay, now you can see the height also, it is 40 mm. So we will be constructing for height of 40. Mention it. Okay, you need to draw exactly for 40 mm here. Then you can join. Okay, show the dimension. Can give the namings here, that is A, B, C, D, the vertical edges. Okay, you can see here we have to draw an axis. So for that I'll be drawing the thin lines here, that is diagonal lines, to find out the center. Okay, and then I will draw an axis in the front view also. So I will draw thin line here because it is a prism. So cube is one of the prisms. So remember it, the inside lines we are drawing, it should be thin lines. Okay, it should be thin lines. You can mention it as O, and then you project it upward. Okay, and then from there you can you can draw a axis line here. Okay, okay, now exactly at the midpoint I'll be splitting this axis line so that we'll get the midpoint of the axis, because we have to draw an angle line exactly at the middle point of it. So we need to split it exactly at the half here. Use the split command, click on the axis and click on the midpoint. So it will get split into two halves. You can show the dimension for the lower part, so it will be exactly 20 mm. Okay, now you take a line, section plane, we have to draw an angle line for an angle of 45 degree here. Okay, you can give the angle 45 degree, enter, then you just draw a straight line. So we need to draw an angle line. Now using extend to next command, we can extend the same section plane downward also. Okay, so it is extended. Now you can show the angle. You can see that we have done. Now I'll be darkening the retained cut portion. Remaining cut portion we should make it dark. Okay, the upper part of it I'll be making it as a thin. Okay, you can see wherever the section plane has been cutted, from there I'll be drawing a projection line downward. Okay, projection line downward I'll be drawing it. From there, wherever the section plane we are having it, we are not going to draw. Where we don't have the vertical line projecting downward, in those cases I am drawing a straight line here. Okay, vertically downward. Okay, now the upper cut part will make it as thin line. Okay, lower part we should make it as a thick line. Okay, so you can again split, if it is not splitted properly, you can split it and make that upper part, because we need to draw the development of the lower portion, so we should make sure that lower part should be in dark. Okay, now you can give the numericals number where we have cutted the section plane. Okay, this is where actually cutting started, so I'll mentioning this as 1, and it is occurring in between the vertical edges of A and B. So this is 1, and I'll mention this is 2. So the point number 2, it is exactly occurring at the end B, and then point number 3. So point number 3 we are getting exactly in between B and C, that is your point number 3. If we have drawn in a straight line projecting downward, you can see the point number 3 we are getting in between B and C. Okay, and that is our point number 5. So you can mention it. So this is 3, and this is 4, and this is 5. Okay, so 5 we are getting exactly on the vertical edge D here. Now we have to draw the development of this. You can see this, and this is exactly 1. Now we can see in this top view I am going to measure this length. In order to measure it, before that I am going to split it to the exact length, so that we can able to measure it, and the same length we can cut it in the development part. Okay, using smart dimensions you can able to measure the dimension of it. Measure exactly the length which we have cut it. You can see in both the cases we are getting exactly 8.45 and 14.64. Okay, so now we draw the development of this. We'll be drawing a parallel line, a thin line here. Okay, a straight line. We'll draw a vertical line here. Now using offset command, I'll be taking 4 faces here at a distance of 40. Okay, from that vertical edge I'll be considering a distance of 40. Enter. So the wrong side I have considered, you need to consider on the right side. Okay, 40, enter. click OK, and then you get the 4 faces here. Now we can mention the naming for it. It is capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D, and capital A. And now we can see here we need to mention this wherever we cutted the section plane with the number, we should mention from A to 1 on the line AB, it is 14.64. So I'll be taking arc by center point from the A point. I'll be measuring the length of 14.64 and cutting the arc. So cutting the arc, this is your point number 1. Okay, now we can see point number 2, we're getting exactly on the vertical edge B here. So for that I'll be drawing a horizontal line, so till here B. So this is the point number 2. Okay, and now for the point C, the point number 3, it's not falling on the C, it is in between 2 and C, that is B and C, or you can consider from C to 3. So C to 3 it is 8.45, so it is exactly occurring at the top face. So here guys, you need to be careful. Wherever we mention the notations or the naming of the numbers, we should mention exactly there. Okay, otherwise the problem will become wrong. Should be careful. 8.44, 8.45, measure it and cut the arc, and this is your point number 3. Okay, now from C to 4, C to 4 we have 14.64. again I'll be using arc by center point from C end, it is 14.64, enter, and then cut the arc. Okay, and that is your point number 4. Now on the vertical edge D, we have exactly the point number 5, so we can mention it. So on the vertical edge D we have, so just by drawing an horizontal line you will get the point number 5 here. Okay, now again 1, you can see here it is there in from D to A. From A to 1 end it is there at a distance of 8.45. I'll select arc by center point. From that A end I'll be cutting the arc for 8.45, enter and sweep. So this is where I am getting 1. Can mention 1 here. Now you join all these points to get the development. Say I'll be starting from the 1, joining with all these points with a straight line here from 1 to 2. You can zoom in and join exactly the point you can take. Okay, then from 2 to 3, then from 3 to 4, then from 4 to 5. And zoom in and join correctly, otherwise sometimes you'll be ending up connecting the wrong ends. Okay, zoom in and connect. Then from 4 to 5, and then 5 to 1, and then the bottom face you can join. So this thing, it will complete the problem. You can join it properly. Okay, zoom in and join. Okay, so this thing completes the problem. So this is how we do it for the cube problem. Okay, section plane cutting exactly at the midpoint, and at the end of 3 and 4 I'll be mentioning a vertical line. Okay, so you can subscribe for the channel and hit on the bell icon for the latest notification, and share it to the maximum students so that they can be benefited. Thank you all.